What's up, guys? Welcome back to another review on the Flash Season 8, Episode 2 of the Armageddon crossover. Now, without further ado, let's get started. The Flash is back on our screens with Episode 2 of the crossover Armageddon. Again, this wasn't really well, it was a big episode with a lot of big twists and turns that I didn't see coming, but this is the episode that I can really dive deep into because not really a lot happened. You know what I mean? It wasn't a whole lot of action. No, it wasn't just. It was really more of an A storyline. It wasn't, an A storyline, a B storyline, a C storyline. It was just one big storyline in this episode. So it wasn't really a lot to dig in this episode. But yeah, that's why my review for this episode is really short. But yeah, this was a really great episode. So many big twists and turns I did not see coming. Kind of wanted to give you guys my thoughts and kind of recap this episode. And I'm kind of give a review of last week's episode, which was episode 1, part 1. Let's get started. So episode 2 leaves off exactly where we left off in episode 1 with Barry and Despero in a confrontation, more or less. But yeah, so this leads really into Despero kind of messing with Barry's mind all throughout the episode, which leads to actually some pretty big stuff. One of the big things that happened in this episode is that Barry, he attacked Team Flash. Now, we didn't see it on screen, like him literally attacking Team Flash, but, we saw the aftermath of it. But yeah, now, really, it's more of really Team Flash trying to really stop Despero from killing Barry and bringing on this Armageddon. This leaves some big revelations, some big twists in this episode. Now, one of the small things that I really did like was kind of a big thing that happened in this episode where we actually got to see Barry unleash his full power. Now, I don't know if this is like a new ability or a new power or what, but what I saw from it was really cool. Now, this really involves the kind of him facing off against a meta-human of the weak type sorts, which has the ability to control minds. No complaints really with this whole meta-human of the weak. It was just more something, it was kind of more of a B storyline that happened within this episode. And we also got some Chuck and Lego stuff too, which was okay. But yeah, another big thing that we got in this episode was they're no longer working in Star Labs. So Star Labs is completely shut down. Gideon is no longer online. It's basically, Star Labs is done. Which actually really kind of threw me for a loop because I did not know that was going to happen. That was an amazing twist, by the way. But yeah, kind of leaving off the ending of this episode, we have Barry kind of, after all the events that occurred, kind of going back to Iris. And this is where we actually kind of get the biggest revelation of this whole episode. We actually get Team Flash, Iris, Cecile saying that Joe is dead and he's been dead for 6 months. So this actually kind of blew my mind. I didn't know what to expect from this ending. This was a really great twist. Now, do I think that Joe is dead? Honestly, I don't know. This is kind of the big mystery, right? But yeah, personally, in my opinion, I don't really think that Joe is dead. I just think that Despero is kind of beginning to mess with his mind, a little bit. But yeah, not really. So we kind of get a post-credit scene of sorts within this episode. We have Black Lightning returning for this episode, which is actually kind of weird because I really thought that he was going to be in this episode entirely. But yeah, it's great to see him back. It's great to see him and Barry team up again. Well, that team up is going to be in next week's episode. But yeah, it was really great to see him. And him and Barry scenes was the highlights of Crisis on Infinite Earth. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here. I just wanted to give you guys my quick review and to point out the big things that I've noticed that went on in this episode. But yeah, now just to really recap episode 1, it was a great episode. We got to see Iris finally, after all these seasons, get a proper great storyline. We also get a little bit from Allegra too. But, this is great. Iris had her own storyline since, season 3? But yeah, this is really great for her. Like, we see where this Iris West storyline goes from here. We also get Ray in this episode, the Atom. We catch up with him after, he left the Legends and what he's been doing, what he's been up to. And he's been doing great. He's focusing more on himself and more on his relationship. And we basically get this whole kind of the beginning of Armageddon, this whole crossover event with the team up with the Atom and the Flash. But yeah, my thoughts on these 2 episodes, but episode 1 in particular, I think this is a really, really great start to both of these Armageddon crossover events, man. Episode 1, episode 2 was really, really great. But yeah, I'm going to kick it off to you guys. What do you think of this episode of The Flash Armageddon Part 2? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Where do you think Black Lightning fits in this whole them trying to stop Despero? But yeah, with that being said, hit that subscribe button, turn that notification to get notified on videos like this, so much more drop. With that being said, I'll see all you Team Flash members in the next video.